I thought you were giving me a page number from your book. It's okay. So much gets past me, Johnny. So much gets past me. It's okay. What do you want today?
It's coming. Yeah, I will come at 5. We're gonna have a little cake. My dad's gonna bring him.
It's his birthday?
His birthday today.
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
So the Swamini said that it would be alright to have a little birthday celebration.
Oh,
Nice.
He's 3.
He's 1.
Oh, wow.
He's turning 1.
congratulations. One's magnificent.
Kept him alive for a year.
I know. When I brought my son home, I kept on looking at him like, they expect me to keep him alive? What are they thinking? Everybody wants a book? You can tell. Is it in here or in that one? Yeah, on the chair, right behind you.
Thank you.
Prativodhitam
Bhagavata Narayanena
Swayam Yasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Ambatvāmanusam dadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindaya Tapatra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipa Prapannaparijataya Thotrane Traikaparnaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gītāmritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsasudhibhokta Dugdham Gītāmritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha last verse Sunmanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapada Kramopanishadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidussurasuraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Bhagavad Gita. How are you?
No, I've not seen you for many months.
And yes.
You're like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh, not feeling better?
A little slowly, very
Very
slowly.
slowly.
Yeah.
We will pray that you continue to feel better soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice to see you after so long.
Yes, you too.
Yes.
Great.
ॐ सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Right, we have seen Dukkheshu Anudvigna Manaha, Sukheshu Vigata Sprihah, Vitaraga Bhayakrodhah, Sthitadhihi, Munihi, Uchyate. 256 we saw. And what comes after 256? Exactly. See, who says Vedanta is difficult? Yeah. So easy. So, we have seen this. Atmani eva atmana tushtah. The one who is happy being themselves, by themselves, in themselves, without needing any external props, crutches and sources of entertainment. You know, that's a tall order, right? Yeah. And Bhagavan Krishna knows that having said some, this is almost like a pratigya, like a thesis statement in the 56th verse, having declared that the goal is to be contented with oneself. So that the so-called enlightenment or self-knowledge doesn't have anything at all to do with what? To do with things in the universe. It has everything to do with you. It's based on you, it's centered on you, and finding that contentment within is the fruit of self-knowledge. This has been told, correct? And now that this has been told, it is not something you can get away with. This cannot be the last mantra of the verse of the section. Why? Because there are certain things, as soon as you hear this, that I have to be satisfied by myself, for myself, I should not need anything. And what happens immediately as soon as you think that? There is an immediate pressure. The pressure to not want things. The pressure to be the best Vedantin in town. In Eugene it's easy because there are very few of us. So the pressure to be the best one with the best Vairagya, the best letting go, the best, Viveka, the best Shama. And as soon as you say, I have the best Shama, you feel like hitting someone. This is what happens. I have the best. And that is the pressure that starts to get exerted on the jiva here. Why? Because this seems to be the goal. And sometimes we forget to have fun along the way because the goal is so much clear that, one gets to this place of self-abnegation. When it is not done in the right way, it's not pretty, either for the person or for the onlookers. The onlookers are wondering what has happened to my friend. Here I thought this person is my friend, and then I was a little suspicious that they started to study Vedanta, but I let them. I said, okay, what can happen? They're moving and studying some spiritual discourses. What's the worst that can happen? And then after a while I stopped recognizing them, and after a while they stopped recognizing themselves, and then the whole time they were in a state of denial because they didn't even know that they were not recognizing themselves. This is a very scary situation, and that has to be reckoned with because the human mind is quick to look at the goals as, as some, not as something to be reached in time by blossoming towards it or working towards it, but as something instantaneous to be wanted right now. And in the spiritual quest, this is a very common problem. It is called overreaching, and it is called, what is that? It is called the one who is Bhagavan Krishna calls such a person Mithyacharaha. Mithyachara means a fraud. A fraudulent sadhu. I mean, that sounds like an oxymoron. How can sadhu means a good person? Parakaryam sadhnoti iti sadhu means the one who is always working for the benefit of others. One who is never hesitates to be in service. That's the sadhu, correct? But here, it's like a kind of a, pressurized sadhu. Sadhu is supposed to be relaxed. And so it seems like a, oxymoron. Just like people who say, oh, he or she is a good sadhu. You don't have to say good sadhu. Sadhu means good. So when you say bad sadhu or a fraudulent sadhu, it's even more suspect than saying good sadhu. Good sadhu, at least you are stating the obvious, Yeah. You don't have imagination. Okay, big deal. But then when you say fraudulent sadhu, I mean, what are you trying to say? And in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan is going to say that the one who tries to sit still, even though the mind is like a monkey, going up, down, all around, and the one who pretends to already be there, without really doing the work, the inner work that it takes, is called mithyachara. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit karyate hyavashah karmah sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi. This was talked about, this is going to be talked about in chapter 3, and in chapter 3 he says that it's not possible to sit still without doing anything, It's not, because the sadhu here is the one who, the person of knowledge is the one who has accomplished non-action. That we have to understand. Because there is no pressure exerted by the desires to act. I mean, this is very logical. Only when you have a desire, then you feel like acting, correct? Because otherwise, what is the reason to act? No desire, no action. Like no pain, no gain. No desire, no action. No action at all. And so here, the one who says, I'm already a sadhu, I have reached the state of actionlessness. But what have they done? They have trained their senses. They have trained their body to be still. And that's very easy to do. You go to Rishikesh, it's highly recommended. When you go to Rishikesh, you will see there will be people on the roadside in orange, and when you go there, some of them, they will all have some tricks up their sleeve to beg for the food. There is the non-blinking Swami. I don't know if he's still alive, or he has attained Mahasamadhi. We don't know. Non-blinking means whole day, and you can peer into the eyes. They are not blinking at all. Not blinking, not blinking, not blinking, not blinking, not blinking. I suppose the person is mimicking alup tadrik, which means the non-blinking Atma that is always awake. And people think that, oh, this is a great feat, and give some money. And then there is Upar Hath Wala Baba Swami. Somebody asked him, he doesn't talk. And doesn't walk much also. It's not clear what he does. But, people revere him. And he has a following. He is inspirational. And somebody asked him, where is Bhagavan? And he pointed up. Wrong answer. But nonetheless, he pointed up and forgot to bring the hand down. So much in the trance was he that the hand and the bones and the muscles, the hand has become like a twig, all, just like a dry twig. and all the muscles have atrophied if there are any there, and the skeletal hand is still, stuck up there. So this is how he eats, this is how he sleeps, this is how he wakes up, this is how the hand is. So like this, so many people, you can train the body to do anything, But that's not what is being talked about. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha santushtaha means the one who is happy. You can't train yourself to be happy by yourself without the teaching. And that's what is the point in the next subsequent verses. That don't try to fake this through, because self-knowledge is not self-control. There is something more than, it's something more than controlling the body and the mind. That is what it is. I'm trying to look for that verse where he says, Mithyacharasya uchyate. It will come in the beginning. Yeah. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharah sauchyate. 6th verse. In the 3rd chapter it's going to be said. Meaning, the one who knows how to train their organs of action and the sense organs. Sense organs are not really trained, but there is a certain kind of a posturing going on. And the one who knows how to sit in contemplation, pretending to be meditating, in between they will be opening one eye and seeing who's coming, what is coming, any food has been kept, what is cooking over there. And then suddenly they see somebody coming, they shut both the eyes tightly. and the thing starts to spin faster, So this posturing has been criticized and continues to be criticized because the whole point of self-knowledge is authenticity. And here, this inauthenticity can creep up in several ways. So one has to be, and when that happens, there is a problem when that happens. You know what happens when that happens? We stop ourselves from learning. Yeah. Because when you start thinking, I already know, what is there to learn? When you say that, okay, I'm going to show off as though I'm enlightened, and then what is there to learn? There is nothing to learn. So therefore, one is depriving oneself of the ability to learn because of this pressure. And this is what is, was talked about, is going to be talked about in chapter 3, that such a person is not a sadhu, but a fraudulent person. And then that is being described here in great detail in the next couple of verses. We'll chant the next 2 verses together. Yes sarvatranabhisneha tattat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishthita yada samharate chayam kurmongani vasarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhyah tasya prajna pratishthita. 2 more we'll chant. Vishaya vinivartante viraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya parandrishtva nivartate yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitah indriyani pramathini harante prasabham manah
हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः
तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य
तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य
युक्त आसीत मत्परः
युक्त आसीत मत्परः
वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि
वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Yeah. So, यह सर्वत्र अनभिस्नेहः. Sneha from snih to stick. Anything sticky is called snigdha sneha. Like oil and taffy and sticky things. That quality is called sneha. And metaphorically, it also means affection. Because affection, is a sticky issue. It can quickly degenerate into what? Into a dysfunctional relationship, can it not? In fact, it can quickly, and it does quickly degenerate into a kind of a very sticky situation. And it's like chewing gum. It's like fondue, and then everywhere it's all sticky, and you have to kind of extricate yourself from this situation while maintaining your sanity. This is called affection, sneha. It starts off very innocently, however, but it ends up, in a very sticky thing. It's like chewing gum. The chewing gum stuck to the hair, okay? Then what do? Before you cut it off, you try other methods. Then you think, okay, I will remove it slowly. Now it has stuck to both the hands. Or maybe it sticks to one hand, then you try to pry it out with the other hand, and then it sticks to both hands. Then you try the feet, and before you know it, you are like a lizard. You have, webbed hands and feet, and you can walk on the ceiling because you can balance. So, this is how the affection is. So, therefore, the affection is not a problem, but the dysfunctionality, that sticky nature, is talked about beautifully. That's why it's not talking about love. Love is never a problem. Love is your nature. Love is not a problem. What we are talking about is a kind of a fondness for situations, people, things, etc., which can quickly deteriorate and degenerate, landing you in a sticky situation. So, yaha, it means the one who, sarvatra, all around, anabhisneha, is not in any kind of a sticky situation. This is the sadhu that's being talked about, who has self-knowledge. And what is this person like? The person, it's not that the person hates everyone, but that love that the person has for everyone is not vitiated by expectations. This is what the whole thing is. Because the expectations make things a sticky situation. Because when you have expectations, you expect that the way in which you are fond of somebody, they will return the same thing to you. You open the door for them, they will open the door for you. You cook them a meal, at least they will wash the dishes. And because they can't cook. Okay, and supposing they can cook, they should also cook. So it's like that, And nowadays, even in a marriage, it's like sometimes, in the past, there was much more of a division of labor between men and women. So the women would do certain things and the men would do certain things. Now it's all equal. The whole marriage is equal. 1 week I cook, you do the dishes. And then next week you cook, I do the dishes. First child you have, second child I'll have. There was I saw an article about a pregnant man. Yes. I didn't read it, so I don't know the details. But he was a man, and he had dadi, he had beard and everything, and he had a man's name. And then, he was pregnant with his second child. First child had already been harvested through C-section. I don't know how, you just can Google it and find out. But, So despite making it all this, back and forth, this equality, the stickiness in a kind of a marriage, in any marriage, does not come down because there is no Vedanta. There is no self-knowledge. Because even after, in spite of making everything so equal, one still suffers, correct? And so therefore, here is the whole situation beautifully said, that the person of knowledge, self-knowledge, has no what? Abhisneha, anabhisneha, does not get stuck in sticky situations. And the sticky situations have to do with obligations arising out of a sense of give and take. And those obligations are very deadly. One has to, with the help of the knowledge, grow out of them, wean oneself out of them. Because in the world, in the regular Laukika world, in the everyday world, there are obligations. The neighbor is sick. You're not particularly fond of them, but you take them soup. Why? Because when you are sick, hopefully they will also bring the soup. When you are sick, they don't bring the soup and you are immediately affected. This is what is abhisneha. Abhitaha means all around, All around it catches you when you least expect it, these obligations and all these things. And sometimes people say, I can't come to class because I have to go to the potluck. Don't go, come to class. No, what will they think? What will they think? Thankfully, nobody says, what will you think? They don't say that to me. I think it's a good sign. So, they don't say, what are you going to think if I don't come? But generally, what will they think if I don't go to this party? Because that obligation, there is a certain kind of a social obligation, cultural obligation, familial obligation, spousal obligation, parental obligations, and then, they each one sort of, buries one under this whole burdensome, web of abhisneha. And so this abhisneha here is repudiated or denied. The presence of abhisneha, even in the slightest bit, is denied for the person of self-knowledge. And yaha sarvatra abhisneha, anabhisneha. Sarvatra means all around, in all situations. This person, and Adi Shankara calls such a person munihi, mananashilatvat, this contemplative person, and has no sticky affection towards, all the things that are embodied in the universe. That is the sense of not having me-ness and my-ness. These people are my people and the other people are not, my people. And it's very difficult, very, very difficult. And even in religious circles, we find it. And, one time I was teaching in DC, and then, I was in the smaller room, and next room there was the auditorium, bigger room, and then there was some Swami, some famous Swami that had come. And people requested me, can you end early or can you give us a break so that we can go get blessings and see what's happening next door? I said, by all means, we'll take a long break, you go and, go. And, we may not come back because we want to listen to what he's saying. I said, fine, go and, experience the Swami. And then they all came back and they all looked very dejected. I said, what happened? I said, well, first thing they asked us is, do you belong to our group? And we said, no, we are just coming to the temple and we are listening to here in the next room, and we saw that all these people had come and this Swami has come, so we just came to pay our respects and find out what this is about. They said, all right, then in that case, you want darshan, right? They said, yes, please, we would like to have darshan. That will be $150 per person, Then they said, some of them asked the next question, how long will I have? Oh, no, he'll just come and, touch your head with a feather or whatever it is, and that's it, and then you go. So can't I listen to the talk? No, you can't listen because we already told you're not part of us. But how do I become part of you? Because you have to go through this membership process and all these things and everything, or give a big donation to be able to sit after the darshan. So, like this, there's that whole our people, not our people, this belongs, this doesn't belong. All these things are not there for the Jnani. The Jnani is beyond all these things, and this is the sense of belonging, and this is mine, and this is not mine, and all these things are not there. And so therefore, anabhisneha means does not get into sticky, obligatory, reciprocal situations. This is something which is actually part of becoming a sannyasi. That is what you make a vow also about. That you don't get into these kinds of sticky situations of exchange. Yeah, there is no exchange. What is there to exchange? And so, because then there is obligation and dependency and all these kinds of things. So, one is clear of that, and that is talked about in the first half of the first line. And then, tat prapya shubham cha ashubham cha, because life is not always full of auspicious things, good things. Shubham means that which makes the 28 teeth come out. Yeah. Can't say 32 because 4 of them are gone in this country. So that which makes the 28 teeth come out is called Shubham. Very nice. Free lunch. Anything free, people go. They'll pay extra for the thing before that in order to think this is free. Oh, free? Really? I'm there. Count me in. And so this free madness for free things and anything wonderful happening, whatever happens, wonderful, 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 great, fantastic. Yes, shubham, 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 life is going. Yes. And then life is not always like this, correct? Yeah, has to come down. Because what goes up must come down. Including the inflated being, correct? The person inflated by Shubha is brought down by Ashubha. Ashubha means difficult things happening. Sickness, disease, losses, especially of money and, all these kinds of things. When they happen, what happens? There is a kind of a dejection. So, in the regular so-called empirical world, we are used to this yo-yo life. Yeah? And what is the yo-yo life? Yo-yo life is elation, dejection, elation, dejection. At least if it was alternating, it's bearable, correct? Dejection, little bit of elation. Dejection, little bit of elation. That is the whole thing. So for those, we become like beggars for that elation. Once in a while it comes. Most of the days are bad days, and in between is a sudden good day, what I call good day. And so much so we are hankering after the good day that we wish others have a good day. And then we hope that they will also wish us back, have a good day yourself. You also have a good day. But now it's very puzzling because this kind of a greeting is not there in India. Have a good day. Because how is the day good or bad? Day simply is, correct? So I suppose if you decode this greeting, have a good day means, please make the day good no matter how it is or whatever it is. Perhaps we hope that that is the message. But here one is quickly dejected if one does not get what one wants and if the day doesn't go according to plan. One is quickly discombobulated, dejected, upset. And if other people do not behave as I planned for them to behave. Oh, you mean I have plans for other people? Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes it comes out in an extreme form. I went once with Pujya Swamiji to somebody's house, for bhiksha. And this woman was very stressed out because she was having all these people over and she didn't know what was the right thing to do and she was all over the place. But that stress manifested in telling everyone what to do, especially her family. That poor husband, we didn't even know if he could talk or not because, he tried to be helpful. We saw him bringing something, that Purna Kumbha for Swamiji. She said, it's not your turn now. You put that down and give it to somebody else. And he didn't even say, okay, he just nodded his head and kept. And, and anything he tried to do was immediately shot down, and she just kept saying, you're such a bother. This is after 35 years of marriage. You're such a bother. When are you going to learn? How long have I been telling you? You just sit quietly. You don't need to do anything. And then he came to talk to Swamiji something, and, she said, shoo, literally. She said, you go from here. Because you see, this is the time where so many people will be wanting to talk. What do you have to say? Nothing. Go away. And and then, so wherever he sat, she said, this is for this VIP who's coming. So she made him get up. Then he got up and sat in the other chair on the other corner. She said, oh, no. That's an antique chair. No one is supposed to sit there. What happened to the sign which I had put? Don't sit on the chair. Look, you sat on the sign itself. Get up right now. Then he got up. Then he tried to go upstairs. She says, what is there upstairs? Everybody is downstairs. Come down. Then poor fellow came down. And then he's, one more place he tried to sit, I forget. But there also he was told that area is for the children to play. And how can you And so he just stood in the middle of the room looking really perplexed and lost. And then for that also she chided him. Go find something to do. What are you standing there in the middle of the room? And and I was thinking, I was praying in my heart, Swamiji, please do something. This is just unbearable, poor thing, So I thought, that, Swamiji will call him and make him sit there. But, Swamiji did something else which was so beautiful. He called her instead. Yeah. He said, Amma, come here. She was very happy. Who, me? Yes, you. She said, we've not seen each other in such a long time. She said, yes, Swamiji. She caught hold of his hand. She caught hold of his foot. She was massaging his foot. And she said, yes, Swamiji, you've not come to visit me. You've not come. It's been so long. We've not had time together. And he said, I want you to sit right at my feet. I want to be with you one-on-one forever, the whole evening. I don't want to be separated from you. She was perplexed. Really? But so many things are there, Swamiji. I have to take care of them. I have to serve you. He says, don't worry. Let the daughter-in-law do that. Let other people do that. You just be with me. You sit with me. You eat with me. You enjoy the satsang. Enjoy the jokes. You just be with me. And then suddenly, the husband had a light in his eyes. After seeing that she was not moving from Swamiji's side, it's just an awesome solution. So awesome. Wonderful. That is how the Jnani operates, okay? That is what it is. You just do, this is what is called, what is that? Damage management. In the best possible way. And everybody looked a little more relaxed, the family members, and everybody looked a little happier and a little lighter throughout the evening. And nobody was told what to do, because the moment, she would look around, Swamiji would catch hold of her hand and not let her go. And not even like this, he would clasp her hand. So this is what the whole thing is, so that stress and everything, that makes one be a control freak. It's usually because of the stress. And that stress makes one have all these agenda, expectations and control, because we want everything to go so nicely, but really speaking, it's not in your hands. It's not in anybody's hands. You do your best and let go. And washing the hands off after you have done the best, your best is called karma yoga. Yes, that's what the whole thing is. washing the hands off because I have done my best, now it's in your hands. You give it off to Bhagavan, you don't hold on to it. And you don't go like this. It's like like when you fight with a pet, it's trying to hold on and you are also pulling. No, you let go. And so therefore, the person who has completely let go of their own life, including their body, mind, sense complex, to that which is called karma, prarabdha. Prarabdha here means the karma that made this body, has certain ways of unfolding, which makes one have a good day or a bad day, depending on if the mind is involved. One day everything hurts, everything pains. Yeah, it's okay. It is paining. Take some pills. And then go about your day. No, but I can't take pill. All right, take rest. Do some ice or whatever else that is nice. Keep doing that. But frequently what happens, the physical ailment transfers to the emotions and the mind and hooks into that. There is also a sneha there, an abhisneha, where the mind and the body are kind of, caught in this dysfunctional relationship. And if something happens to the body, the mind is pulled into the dredges. And then the emotions very quickly follow. Everything derails. Correct? Not for the jnani. This is true in the regular world, yes. Not for the jnani. What happens for the jnani? For the jnani, there is a very different situation happening. The jnani is not going up and down, bobbing up and down, like a ball. Flotsam, jetsam, no, In fact, the jnani is not called Sam. Sama, yes. Not Sam. Sama means even. Yeah, even. Because that up and down happens when the mind and the emotions latch on to those expectancies and ragadveshas, because I want the body to be a certain way, I want the mind to be a certain way, I want the emotions to be a certain way, and all these things latches on, and therefore what happens? Nothing happens by way of Vedanta and knowledge. Everything happens by way of bringing me down. I feel like a lead balloon. This is what happens day after day. And so here the injunction is given very beautifully to see how the jnani is not a yo-yo. This is auspicious, this is inauspicious. That even those words are not there in the vocabulary. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa vivarjitaha. Kama sankalpa varjitaha, elsewhere it is told. For whom all beginnings are auspicious. You don't have to look for which is a good day, which is a bad day. No, you do what is meant to be done because you are in the flow of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan made the days. So all days are good days for you and you don't care about the outcome. The outcome has to be a certain way. You're just doing something and then you just do it. That's all it is. See, this good day, bad day, my star is here, and then the Saturn has caught hold of this particular house, and the Jupiter is, in combustion. This is another problem. There is an expression, the planetary combustion, So the Jupiter is exalted, let us say, in Cancer, but it is combust. Combust means it has no power at all. So it's just namke vaste, for namesake, exalted, but really speaking what, they'll get invited to a big meeting, but nobody will let them talk. This is... Nobody will let them open their mouth. They're just cutting the ribbon and sitting on the side. Even if they get to the ribbon, Otherwise lighting the lamp, whatever people do. So this is a kind of a funny prarabdha. And then, so like this, there are so many different ways of the prarabdha expressing itself. And I don't go to try to fix that prarabdha. That is what the whole thing. Prarabdhaya samarpitam vapuhu. Manisha panchakam. So, prarabdhaya, for the sake of prarabdha, this body has been given up. Meaning, prarabdha is a expression, a manifestation of Bhagavan, of Ishvara in my life. Because Ishvara is karma phala data, the giver of the fruits of action. And so the giver of the fruits of action is Ishvara, and so therefore what? So this whole thing in terms of the prarabdha means that whenever I have good situations or bad situations, again, good, bad within quotes, inimical and favorable situations happening to me, it's an expression of Bhagavan. More difficulties means there is more Bhagavan in my life. That is the way to look at it. And so the jnani does not bother. Difficulties means it's okay. You check yourself into the hospital. And then you check yourself out. This is all you can do. But the mind is not involved. Body is involved. The emotions are free. The emotions don't get into that sticky situation and identify with the body, because there is very little body identification. And there is knowledge. And so the knowledge makes one free of, leaking the whole difficulties into the body. The difficulties don't seep into the body-mind sense complex and create havoc there. So tat prapya, whatever comes, shubham va ashubham va, the person na abhinandati, shubham prapya, na dveshti, ashubham prapya, respectively. You have to look at it that way. So does not rejoice when abhinandati means rejoice. Does not rejoice or gets elated when good things happen, and does not hit the ceiling, and then when good things happen, and therefore doesn't have to come down very far when the difficulties come, because that even-mindedness is there. And if we don't understand this, we go for stoicism. What is stoicism? Yeah. Yeah, why just upper lip? Stiff everything. Yeah. Yeah, the person is as good as a stiff, Yeah. Because no reaction at all. No reaction at all. Anything you say, Or sometimes, they think that, some people think that, the jnani should be always smiling. And, there's one particular district in Karnataka where people are laughing no matter what they say. They have this funny, it's a cultural habit. I don't know where it comes from. But near Shimoga somewhere. And, you ask the person, when did you come? I came today. When are you leaving? I'm leaving day after tomorrow. How is your wife? She died last month. This is not the evenness or the joy that one is talking about. I've never understood those people, really. And when you meet them, it's a very distinct kind of a thing, It's very strange, because if you're not from there, it stands out in a funny way. And I suppose if you're from there, you don't notice it at all. Yeah, so that's the kind of situation. We are not talking of either that or stoicism, And we're talking about how the jnani is not living for elation and not trying to avoid dejection. Of course, when something elating and wonderful happens, there's nothing wrong in laughing or rejoicing. And if something sad happens, there's nothing wrong in expressing grief. But even in the jnani's expression of grief, it is in the moment, and it is a spontaneous expression, and it resolves. We've heard so many stories of Ramana Maharshi. And Ramana Maharshi was once told, this story is often quoted, a devotee of his was in labor, and so the news was brought that she had delivered the baby and she's okay. And Ramana Maharshi threw his hands up and clapped and grinned and laughed. Half an hour later, the sad news came that both she and the baby perished. And he became very serious and a tear fell, they say. But that's all it was. It was again the mind using the body, the emotions using the body to express themselves. But since there is not that hook, that abhisneha, the stickiness to the unconscious, and their own trauma is not activated, then it is resolved. Usually in the people who, without jnanam, such a situation was like, oh my God, I hope this doesn't happen to my baby or my grandchild. Oh, I know my friend who is expecting, I hope that doesn't happen to her, and or to this one or to that one. Oh, this baby died so young, and so this lady died so young. What is this life? Oh my God, I feel very frightened. I feel very dejected. Why? Because it's all about me. You see, that's the whole thing. That is not there. And so, tat prapya shubham va ashubham va na abhinandati does not have that, ecstatic expression of joy, which is where the ahankara, the ego, it goes bananas. And what does it do? It thinks it's on the top of the world. Yeah, this is really me. These are the times I have been waiting for. All those other things were useless. This is finally my time has come. Victory to me. And in saying victory to me, they developed a cat on the side, and then already dejected. This is not there. There is a sameness. And that sameness here, when greeted by sorrow, dejection or joy, that sameness, not coming out of an aloofness or a kind of a flat affect, but which is a medical problem. That's not what we are talking about. The sameness is a gift of the boon of self-knowledge, the expression of self-knowledge, where nothing takes the person too much by surprise and makes them lose their keel. So such a person, tasya prajna pratisthita, that we have seen, their knowledge indeed is well established. Speaking of sameness, so there we go. So anyway, so it can be a monocle right now. So and now how to get to this place is given in the next mantra. Yada samharate cha ayam kurmongani va sarvashah. Yada samharate, pulls back. Samharate, yada means when the person pulls back. Pulls back what? Indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Pulls back the sense organs from contacting the sense objects. That is when the prajna is said to be established. And the beautiful example is given, kurmonganiva. Kurma means what? Tortoise. The tortoise has a gift, because it's scared all the time, really. And it's got a very thin skin, and it's, so therefore, Bhagavan, that was the first mobile home built by Bhagavan, the tortoise. Seeing the tortoise alone, we are now building mobile homes. Yeah, that was the first example. Bhagavan was the first architect of the mobile home. Yes. In form of the turtle, tortoise, all these hard-shelled animals. And so, it carries its house on its, thing. And, sometimes it has its head out of the window. And a few hands and legs too. And then when something is coming at it, it goes in and closes the window in its house, in its mobile home. So where it is safe. And so what does it do? You see the head, tail and all the limbs withdraw. And all the predator sees, is just the house, the shell. And the predator, the coyote, hyena, dog, cat, they sniff around it, but they don't know what is happening. Is it alive? They bat it, they move it a little bit, it doesn't move. Is it alive? It is there. What is it? Then they go away thinking it was a false scent. It smelt like a jiva, but actually it is a stone. It's an insentient thing. So then they go away. Then after they go away, the turtle is safe enough to look out of the window again, open the door and get some fresh air. Correct? And so here, what is happening? The example of the turtle is given, because turtle has these, four, hands and legs, not hands, but the four limbs and the head. So those five apertures, are metaphorically standing for the five sense organs. And so the sense organs are always peeking out to see what is there, let's see, let's experience, let's have fun, what is there, yes, I want that later, I can't afford that, but I'll have that anyway, and what about this one? But if I get this, then I can't have that, and if I can't have that, then I can't have this. Oh no, what should we do? Better buy both. Okay, so, So this is how the sense organs and sense objects, there is abhisneha, that stickiness is there, because as soon as the eyes fall on something that one loves, the eyes do not move from there. Yes, that is how it is. And then, that's what happens. The person keeps on looking, the head has moved, and but the eyes don't move from that object of love. And the ears don't move, the ears seem to go towards that. And the olfactory nerves go to all the restaurants before the feet have reached, They sample the fare. Oh, that smells, what is that smell? That smells like Italian food. And then Italian food, you hadn't even thought about. But suddenly the smell came. You were sitting here studying Vedanta like a good student. And then suddenly the smell came, and then what happened? You were not planning on Italian food, but then you say, definitely this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. And when do I want it? Yesterday, because the impatience is there, because the olfactory nerves don't wait, they want it immediately satiated. And this is the problem with the people in the world. With the regular people, regular means what? Who are not studying regularly. Yeah, so so with such people, what do we have? We have that, inability to be kind of discriminating where the sense organs and the sense objects are concerned. There is no ability to be discriminating, and there is no ability to choose between, something versus another thing. Because, you can say, yes, I like Italian food, but this is not right for me right now. Perhaps I should wait and look for something else, or this is not the correct thing to have right now. So, since that discrimination is not there, the person is under the control of all the whims and fancies, even as they arise in the mind. So what is the difference between such a person, the one who is not a Vedantin, and a person of self-knowledge, is given in this mantra. So yada samharate, because the person of self-knowledge, like the turtle, has the ability to draw back the sense organs from contacting the sense objects at will. This is a very important quality. You see there, you notice there, but you say, no, this is not for me. Why? Because I have made another commitment. No, so what? Have this in any case. And because, the Italian eatery calls out, come, I'm waiting for you. Grand opening, half off, sale, so many things, correct? It calls out to you. Whether it's an Italian restaurant or a bottle of alcohol, whatever it is, this is where the difference between the person who is in samsara and the person who is a jnani, this is the difference. Because, for the samsarin, the addictive behaviors develop very quickly. Oh, only one more, only half more, only a little bit more, and then I'll be fine, And Pujya Swamiji always used to say, the alcoholic, the one who is an alcoholic, says, I can give up alcohol any time. How? Because I've already given it up 35 times. This is this is the problem, you see, where there is no sense of having a say over the sense organs. You cannot say that my eyes made me do it. The eyes don't make you do anything. The sense organs are dutaha. What are dutas? They are messengers. They say, they give messages. They say, this sounds like Italian, this smells like Italian cuisine, this sounds like heavy metal, this looks very, this looks like a big thing, but it's very, it's got very pleasing colors and it's a nice thing to look at. They just report. And if the mind has not been managed, if the mind doesn't have that withdrawal technique, if the mind and the buddhi are not managed, the mind immediately goes with it. We can't even blame the mind because the mind goes after the sense organs. But really the buddhi should be able to draw it back. And that withdrawal is what we are talking about. This is not dharana and all those things. No. This is an everyday practice of being able to always have in mind one's priorities and to not be shaken away from those priorities. Especially as a student of Vedanta, because this is all being addressed to students of Vedanta. That once I have made a commitment to study, then I don't let other things hijack this commitment. And at will I develop the ability to withdraw the sense organs from the sense objects, because that is the first level of, it's called pratyahara really. That is the first level of disengagement. Is it enough? No. Why is it not enough? Because we are back to square one, which is suppression. It is a start, but it is not enough. In the jnani, this is perfected. This withdrawal is perfected. At will, they can take in, they can drop, they can do lots of things. But it has to be perfected, and it is perfected, slowly by having a say over the ways of the mind. And as it's going to be explained later on in chapter 5 and chapter 6, it is perfected through dhyana, meditation. It's perfected through taking the help of Ishvara, because really you cannot get over samsara addiction without Ishvara. Any addiction in samsara is called samsara addiction. Sometimes one is addicted to samsara. Such persons are called drama king and drama queen. Yeah, drama, why? Because there is a penchant for creating a lot of chaos in the life as a way of feeling alive, as a way of participating in the world. And only when that drama is there, people feel like they are alive. Otherwise, they feel like it's dead. So to experience that, they want to create drama, create conflict. And then after having created the conflict, then they want to resolve the conflict in order to then create another conflict. All this is absent in the jnani, whose mind is calm and whose mind is totally dedicated to Bhagavan, because of which that mind has become strong enough to resist the onslaught of samsara. More we will see next time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Any questions?
Okay, I think this can be mended. You want to have a go? I found two little parts. First I'll give you the parts.